Campbell, good morning and welcome to your current affairs program. Morning Coffee, where they meet you from Salon Broadcasting Corporation of Freetown and we regional station there across the country, also on Facebook Live, where they get we internationally. And today, na Thursday, 30th day inside the month of April. Remember, say morning coffee they bring you to hear anything that will happen as they happen all over the country. And you self they get opportunity for ad voice as always where you go send comments on 0341004444 or you send them through the Facebook live stream page as well. This morning we get a lot of to read them for you. And I want for tell you say my name is David Agaba and the program Morning Coffee. Now you dey listen to. And before I go, before I give sense word we come out from Frederick Anderson, what's up now, Kuto Road. And Frederick say, you know, go they blow your nose and say more so they whistle. Now the program this morning, after one meeting where the APC been get with the European Union, they don't pull word na the open one press release say the APC elected officials them don't ready for return to parliament and local council them and they will tell we waiting be the inside that meeting them. Amnesty International don't pull the Global Human Rights Report to go look at one inside it. And Salon they join the world over for member and recognize and celebrate the good work of all workmen them in the world. Internationally, the day they refer to them as May Day or World Labour Day. Our Salon, they remember this day, we get for fair notes in the program. This and plenty other to read them. There for you as you self go send comments and also you go get the opportunity for make lady guests them organize studio go respond to the concerns them. Well, the take of first story, as you know, the headline will tell you this morning, say the All People's Congress Party don't green out for go back now the different offices and the elected officials them would have been in a parliament for go back in a parliament and the local council them back for go take up the duty them where they supposed for the take up. But how this come about for talk about that this morning inside the program, we get Abdul Karim Kamara Esquire, with a member of the APC publicity team. They will do this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Davida. Good morning, Sierra Leone.
Okay, so a pleasure for getting you on the program this morning.
Same here, David.
Okay, so from go let for no waiting happen where make level we don't reach to Usa we reach so.
Um, I want to take this opportunity for tell the leadership of the APC party plenty thank you. We I will start on from the chairman of the party, we now Haji Minkalu Mansari, we not there in the country because of health reasons. And most significantly, I want to tell Ambassador Stanford and Stanley plenty thank you. Loyal National Buya, CDR, Tunis, Mohamed Pope Kamara, Comrades, yes, Kamara, Madam Mariam Malou Kamara. Why again? I mentioned them, these are currently the leadership of the APC. What really are they trying to say now that? Then showcase leadership prowess, then showcase maturity, then showcase a steady head when exactly the party will face with a very, very serious challenge. We all know how this country will look like when they announce Edmond Sylvester Alpha as the commissioner. It's a different spines right across the board. And one amongst the very serious issues then was how the opposition will cope with when we don't make stringent moves or don't make tangible moves for make we get an amendment to section 32.3 of the 1991 Constitution, we clearly provide what we call a roadmap as to how president can go about for consult, for appoint commissioners, and ultimately the national or returning officer for the ECS. So through that, we'll be able to get reforms then we'll put together, we'll submit to president on the 1st of July 2024. We'll call it tripartite recommendations. So we get 80 plus 4 recommendations. Submitted to President, and among so many of these recommendations, one video will stand out very tall. We're in a recommendation 36. Recommendation 36 become for address a perennial issue where don't subject ECSL to criticism and suspicion over the years, elections in and out. That anytime we conduct elections, one person they cry foul, that other person will say, okay, well, we will still best how okay address them. So in the wisdom of President's bill, after the 2023 butched election, he said, well, let me set up a systems review. We will make sure say this institution we don't call ECSL will reclaim the integrity and restore confidence into Sierra Leoneans. Fast forward, it would say it propose the vice president for proven leadership. But as God can have him, a later end of all will get the agreement for national unity and we bond the tripartite. Then we equally get to the same thing we will be say, the president will say, can subsume under the tripartite committee for waiting. For make we review past elections with specific interest to the 2023 much talked about elections. And so there we able to resolve with all, both the APC and the government resolves here. Now going forward, section 32.3 of the constitution deal, but now we can give a clear roadmap as to how president can go about for consult, within a consultation in this context. So because context consultation be very vague and anybody can give an interpretation, then we agree say, in this case, we're going to have what we call the search and nomination committee. So we agree together say, going forward, recommendation 36 they say, anytime the president want to appoint a commissioner or the national returning officer, they therefore go through what we call a search and nomination committee. But with this committee will be supervised by the Public Service Commission, where a committee established by law, where by all indication will draw its membership from different organizations that are this country, where gets that reputation, i.e., like UNA, the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists, the Sierra Leone Bar Association, the Sierra Leone Labour Congress, etc., etc. These institutions for appoint then young person for serve in that committee. I give you this background for making you understand exactly. So fast forward, we agree, both we and government. But when they go forward, we can realize here, firstly, government do two things. Then go contrary to what exactly we agree on in the tripartite recommendation, wherein we say the membership of this particular search and nomination committee will be drawn by these organizations that were on calls, but not therefore choose the young people who for go serve inside under. But in the constitutional amendment bill, no so the drafter, said the president in the appoint from UNA, the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists, instead of UNA send UNA your representative, and the president appoints from UNA your association. The president appoints from the Sierra Leone Bar Association. So in other words, we say no. Every association in this country must get what's called pro-APC, pro-SLPP. So if that the president will go appoint a Sierra Leone Bar Association or Sierra Leone Association of Journalists, that the pro-SLPP they appoint for serve, so it's not still serving the intent and purposes for which we want the search and nomination committee. So that was one issue we argue in the parliament, and we argue all over this country. In only stop there, just after the introduction of that bill, it not even take 1 week, 2 weeks, then the president writes to political parties, say, I want to appoint Edmond Sylvester Alpha as commissioner general or head commissioner for ECSL. We the APC, that will be the battle with two things. One, we Secretary General Loyal Answer now got the answer to charges where they say it makes some provocative words and inciting statements against the president and ABMZ. But amidst all this, with a limited time frame of 3 days, we say, let will reply to these things. We able to reply to government and say, hey, wait a second, Papa government. This person we don't call so say you want for appointment. One, a lack integrity. You know, meet the threshold where an occupier of that office forgets. But in conduct and by in dealings, it don't showcase clearly say, match the integrity checkmates where if a tick for make you occupy that particular seat.
So according to
Let me just give you a background quickly before the line. So as we don't do that, I think say president say, or sorry, the government say, then get 14 registered political parties. And amidst these 14 registered political parties, not only 2 political parties go against the appointment. And so it's saying now, say to me, the word una sentiment and reservations, I don't go ahead now for appoint Edmond Sylvester Alpha to become the national returning officer for ECS. And when you don't do that, that's when we still in a parliament. I'll make you understand this. I'll say no. We know they go to parliament because you don't violate the agreement of national unity and by extension the tripartite recommendation, for which we all don't agree say that so they go ahead. And at this point, because make APC say we call all elected officials to say not to really the appointment of Sylvester Alpha, but the violation of the agreement of national unity and subsequently the tripartite recommendation. I want to understand it's very clear that you don't violate that provision. So we back out of governance. We consent from the people, we elect we into these offices. Fast forward, when we back out of governance, not because we want stagnate governance, but because we want for sure say indeed we will provide the requisite oversight of checks and balances as to the excesses of government. It provoke now the coming of what? The international moral guarantors and equally local guarantors, moral guarantors. So we ever get different engagements. We start off first with the internal local guarantors, moral guarantors, i.e. the Peace Commission. When I see we engagement with the Peace Commission, when they begin to say, no, APC, let we not come on our parliament. Let we do A, B, and Z. And they will tell us, say, not to say we come on our parliament, it wholly born on the fact, say, we want me Edmond Sylvester Alpha come on now that seat will occupy you. But rather, we say the president no don't act in good faith. That we be don't agree saying that so we go about them. But in this time, it don't change the goalpost and go about and appoint Sylvester Edmond Alpha. It will have not even been Sylvester Edmond Alpha. It will have been whosoever a appoint. Hence, it will be go through the search and nomination committee and subsequently submit these names to the president for an ultimate appointment. It will have been the same position. Say, hey, you don't violate or you don't go contrary to an agreement we all be don't agree. I hope you understand this basis.
You really sure say this last part of this statement will make so actually na so it before be.
It will have been whosoever did it, whosoever president will have appointed will have said, no, this is not the modus operandi. Not to so we don't agree say you can go about. This is not the route where we don't agree say you go apply to the ultimate appointment of this person.
Okay,
but fast forward and make a land quickly before the other subsequent questions that they can. So why is this don't happen? It provoke with internal moral guarantors. We begin engage with them and continue to make the positions clear. It escalates to the international community. When I see the high-level delegation of AU, ECOWAS, Commonwealth, UN, and every international organization who belong to at the global village, then come and get a successful and fruitful deliberation which we then listen to with first hand. And when I listen, the head of delegation, Dr. Fatoumata Tumbajan, it tell them clearly, even when SLPP they refer to this agreement, I'm not saying government, I say SLPP as a political party, because I had people on tape like the PR of SLPP, the Secretary General of SLPP, and a host of other SLPP stalwarts. But they refer to that agreement as a gentleman's agreement. But the official advisor to the government of Sierra Leone, who is the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Unayeriwe talks say it's not a gentleman's agreement. So government say no, this is not a gentleman's agreement. So international community can then settle it to the table. They say government honor this part of your agreement. APC, yourself go back now, Parliament. Councillors, una go back. Una continue for engage. Say this is how it should be done. You should not back out of governance just because there is disagreement on the table.
Okay, before they go to the details, okay. I just only small Abukai before they look into everything happened where the moral was then calm. What has actually been the bone of contention for ABC where we run the host many times now? Edmond Sylvester Alpha to an extent now even they talk about some integrity issues. Now we see, I don't know, say not only the issue, but actually then the team around the push over the period.
Yes, the truth is, I repeat this, maybe sometimes me from me own public engagement and from the party position, I want to make this very clear abundantly, that Edmond Alpha gets integrity issues. That's one.
So it's a yes stick on a for check then claims.
We don't get all the evidence then. Clear. This man was pretending by elections na Kwenadugu. Whether elections was fraught with so many irregularities and misconceptions, to the extent that even the RF were tampered with, to changing 049 to now read 149 in the interest of an SLPP candidate, for which we get pictorial and video evidence to the effect.
Okay, we don't move from that
side
now
because we don't
see the side now say una they can't go now for go do government work now or
the people
governance work.
Yes.
Okay, so the people work. So what in actually una self put to the table we make una self comfortable now say all right we go do the work, but certain things then like this need for be done.
Okay, when you look to the new or the revised and updated communique between the government of Sierra Leone, that of the APC, and the international moral guarantors, then put an 8-point resolution public, right? And it in a public domain. Key amongst them is paragraph 7. We make it abundantly clear, say, in as much as then they ask we for let we go back na parliament, and let we go back na with councils and occupy with seats them and do what we're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. One thing we stand very tall, now that we need for agree, say, there should be a total overhaul of ECSL with no names or with no tags pointed at a particular individual. But it should be a holistic overhaul, waiting at the object with that overhaul for achieve integrity, independence, sanity, and credibility.
So now the question apart from the one will not the question. Everybody now will not ask for
overhaul. That is it. That's the object. That this institution don't lack over the years trust from the people. So for make you reinstall that trust into the mindset of Sierra Leoneans and to the entire world, we need a total overhaul.
So this is structural reforms, but structural reforms are not too clear as to waiting for reform, waiting for reform.
Human resources, systems.
But look at the wording of paragraph 7.
They say overhaul.
Yes, look at the wording of paragraph 7. And then next Sam, so waiting at intelligence, no one they prepare me premises. I.e., with paragraph 7 is specifically 0 on recommendation 36. And don't forget recommendation 36, they try to tell you, say, when will they appoint commissioners and subsequently the national returning officer if we go through waiting we call a search and nomination committee. Don't forget that this was the elephant in the room.
So aside from that, they talk about everybody.
And they talk and now say, in as much as we did, listen, at the paraphrase. It say, in as much as paragraph 7 don't talk, say, we forget a total structural overhaul of ECSL, but for key interest, say that overhaul should be done in tandem to recommendation 36. 0, you see, it's 0 clearly with recommendation what? 36 in that wording, in that particular phrase or in that particular composition of that paragraph. So that is telling you that this is a huge success we don't achieve. Whilst prior to this time, others be they refer to the agreement as a gentleman's agreement. Now you see say no. Both local and international partners, who we refer to as moral guarantors, don't condemn that particular proposition. Say it is not a gentleman's agreement. It is a binding agreement because contract law 001 say anytime you enter into an agreement between parties, three things then get for be very fundamental. Number one should be what was exactly the intention of the parties. Do they have that intention to be legally bound? If the answer is yes, then that particular contract is valid ab initio. Because the parties to that agreement don't vouch say we are going into an agreement that both of us don't commit say that agreement forget the efficacy of the law and we should be legally bound by this agreement.
Okay, one of the things again APC the way una still feel satisfied, una dey push for now a parliamentary committee we also then will set up we for work in line with ECSL. But although they see the SLPP themselves, they say according to the constitutional provision, nobody, no institution, no for come in for say, no for like oversee within ECSL.
Beautiful.
Mohammed,
Mr. Mohammed, with respect. Again, this anchor on the huge success with APC breakthrough with international moral guarantors as well as the local moral guarantors. When you look again exactly in the 8th paragraph from the communique issued by the international moral guarantors, it speaks volume to the fact say we equally now they ask government clear that they set up this standing committee pursuant to what? Recommendation 20 in the tripartite recommendation that Parliament now creates this oversight committee in Parliament. We go prepare what we call electoral reforms and check into election preparedness of ECSL as one kidder. For you, Didi, you remember your first question where you asked, say, because it's too open-ended, it can be structural reform, policy reform, HR reforms. So now, with those structural reforms, institutional reforms like HR preparedness and all other issues, is strategically apportioned to recommendation 20, which is parliamentary oversight to look at that area of election preparedness. But when you come to paragraph 7, it's not telling you about how do we go about to having commissioners, decision makers, as postulated in recommendation 36. So you can notice that the communique, although others way one for water and down, one for still continuing to anchor on the fact say it's too vague and big and so ambiguous, but you will notice say key recommendations then they would entitle. Like the Parliamentary Oversight Committee were born out of recommendation 20. And then the Search and Nomination Committee, where they prepare way as to how we get commissioners and finally the head commissioner were born out of recommendation 36. So you begin to see it's not really that too vague as people they say it. It's not really that too where people they say it's too ambiguous that it's subjected to different interpretations. No, let us be honest as Australians for once. That recommendation 20 talks specifically for something. And whilst recommendation 36 talks specifically for something, and both these recommendations are captured in the 8 resolutions as recently or the revised position paper from the international community. But as this continues after the coming and the going of the AU, the ECOWAS, the UN, and blah, 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 which was led by Dr. Fatoumata Toumbajan, former Vice President of the Gambia, in all this stuff, we're going to see again another engagement with the Commonwealth Secretariat. Remember, with then elections, that's really in 2023, was covered by different international partners. You see, even the Commonwealth, the European Union, everybody give in your reports. So when APC is always they say the 2023 elections don't reflect the will and aspiration of the people, such international partners, they call it on commentary on it. i.e. the European Union report, observer mission report. And again, after we don't go, we held another successful meeting again with the Commonwealth Secretariat. Our positions were made very clear. And they have committed to making sure that, wait a second, we will make sure that government now treats this with the seriousness it deserves. Don't forget, Sierra Leone is not too big to challenge the world. And this is what, Davida, I want us now to zero on. Within the APC, they try for show, now for show dedication and for show seriousness. That is why I give special credit to Ambassador Usman Fode Yansane and an able team. They don't show seriousness. They don't show, say, indeed, leadership is competence, it's maturity, it's your ability to think when you are exposed to controversy. You maintain a steady and a calculated approach. And this is exactly what the APC have succeeded in having.
Returning
now, nexus in that.
Mm-hmm.
You saw on yesterday, was it Monday or Tuesday, our high-level meeting with the European Union. Wow. The straw that pierces the camel's back. You know, Sierra Leone is a member nation to the European Union. Very strategic. To us, don't forget, we were colonized by these people, the Europeans. And they continue to have a very serious stake in our business. And we had a very successful meeting with them. And they have equally committed themselves. As you know what? We're ready to give government the support and to equally give the All People's Congress Party the support that what you have committed to as both parties is achievable, implementable. That's a win-win situation. It's not the APC that have won.
How immediate Nagafor go back to office?
Parliamentarians will now return to their duty next week, Tuesday. And councillors, chairpersons, and all elected mayors across the country with immediate effect. I am very certain even some of them now in their offices this morning. Because the party says with immediate effect. But for MPs and others, the next sitting, and that will be Tuesday, they will be in the well of Parliament. That's a very good achievement from the APC. And to you, the people of this country, that at least for once, you have a political party that is ready to champion your cause. You have a political party that will stand the test of time. You have a political party that, amidst all its adversaries of the SLPP, they can still challenge the status quo for the best and for the protection of the constitution of this country. This is what you call a credible political party. This is what you expect from a political party that really, the manifesto say, will get the capacity for providing leadership.
Okay, because some people believe, say, some of them concerns there with your People's Congress, they raise now like a scare tactics, say maybe when I go lost the election, or maybe something I fear when I don't fear, so I not get the will for when I able to achieve that. What you go for speak to some of them concerns, then they can come out from the public and some quarters of the public.
Again, in democracy, everybody entitled to an opinion. But one thing again, Mr. Mohammed, I want to tell you with sincerity, I always say this. Some opinion, although you're entitled to one, you will not say that opinion is far-fetched. That's the one. Or you will not say that opinion where you hold on to is unrealistic. Or you will not say that opinion where you hold on to is false. It's untrue. You go watch APC. You say we APC, the biggest political party in us alone.
What do you mean by the biggest?
They're afraid, say we lost election. With this kind of abysmal failure of the SLPP, where the entire nation don't know, say the SLPP based on the presidential independence speech alludes, say indeed I have failed you as a nation for 8 good years. And then you say APC will go to an election.
Because the AXA will be the biggest political party. Is it by age? Because by age you will say so I will be the biggest political party.
I remember Honorable Aminata talk in one of the interviews, you say how they can drop landlord. When are we not the landlord, we not the tenant there? Well, if you come by analogy, you will say, well, by all indication, SLPP just don't celebrate 75 years. They are the oldest political party in the Sub-Sahara. But you don't ever notice, say, you can be owner of the host at a particular time. As time goes by, you will really build that house. The person wey sometimes candy later end up for buy the house from you, and then there's a shift and change in ownership, that you will be own and trade don end up for sell am to the person wey can now. So you wey trade dem be sabi as landlord end up now for be ten ant, and now the then ten ant end up for be landlord.
So
That's how
except you don't sell, you say
no ten.
So, but
True,
as it is now, for that analogy, the
true
the
ineptitude.
APC are still tenants.
No, now I try for tell am true ineptitude, true lack of foresight, true because they don't get the charisma, they no able manage themselves well. They run out of ideas, and so APC took over from them, and then we provide the necessary leadership. And today we are the head of the home. Now we get now today, so they have transitioned themselves from previous owners to now tenants, and now we being previous tenants now being landlord. So now, what do I mean by that? We don't rule this country.
Look realistic.
Yes, we don't rule this country than them, although the old pass way. Go now to administration proper. We don't do a state house pass SLPP. Far. Although the old pass way. A commodity. When you say salon for better salon, anything we don't make salon better with infrastructural and everything you dey think of. Now we APC now we don't.
But does that mean say una don't dey pass ten power? Una don't also contribute for the salon pass ten? Because salon still get issues.
No, Mohammed. You go notice that anytime we APC kind of power, now they say the fastest growing economy. Now embassy they see not sing me body so na so Kolwata. Now the embassy they say all the road where they make na so picking grave. But from where SLPP kind of power, you don't have embassy say all the road where they make. In fact, they don't make road. So how you go say na picking grave? So from where SLPP kind of power, your embassy say not see me body so na so cool. You no go say not see me body so because like it's not there. You see, president they make a speech in a state house behind an phantom update for telling them a standby generator they use.
Oh, okay.
You understand that thing? So he said, don't tell you say in exact presidential address, they say, I realize that business is not a thrive. But small and big business is not a thrive. So because there's no electricity. He said, I understand that the young people in this country really want opportunities for me to harness their potentials. He said, but the enabling environment's not there. The economy not able to adopt tuna. You know, able to accommodate tuna all. So how many thousands of Australians that would not come to university with they roam the streets of Freetown unemployed? If you see them gladly for that. Society not create any room for accommodation.
For now, Abdul Karim Kamara, we are a member of the APC publicity team. We don't confirm to we say the APC elected officials, them all they go back to work as at Tuesday. Don't talk say the everybody go on the now work the parliamentarians then don't go back and as at immediately the one in at the local council, therefore don't go at the local council them. But let me take one story quickly. The Asaba King of Asaba Kingdom, Delta State, Federal Republic of Nigeria, then done one academic and cultural exchange visit. This happened at Jala University, and that one in for exchange culture between the Nigeria and Salone, the king bin come. And Sierra Leone and Nigeria, they welcome the staff within the administration, welcome them good fashion. And same as the students them of the university, the paramount chief Bindede of Selenga and different chiefdom them, the king of Asaba Kingdom, Delta State promise say it go make sure say the relationship with the institution and also the Usawe self comot them make the relationship they go Tranga one. Professor Rashid Ansumana na the Deputy Vice Chancellor Jala University Bo Campus Toama location. He talk more to me company na Abdul Fatah Bondo by Kamara concerning this big wakaya so the Asaba King of Asaba Kingdom, Delta State, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Kamna Jala University.
Jala University, the first time for host king of this level of reputation. In one a legal scholar and he don't practice law internationally and he also now a former university professor, and at the same time, in our a cultural leader. So within the same person, you get somebody when a scholar, somebody way internationally renowned, and somebody way get a cultural heritage, so protect and a custodian of that culture. So Jala get um, we dey try for expand every day, and currently we get the School of the Law Department, who they hope that it will develop to a school. We get the medical program, and this man will come in family background, Asaba then, previous Asaba, um, Nigeria Day, and Niger Delta, they get hospitals, they get universities in other places. So now it come out from a well-to-do background. So we feel proud for being part of this program, and we look forward for the partnership where we don't already agree on today. Partnership between we, Yala University, and the Asaba of Asaba Kingdom.
So what we stand for gain in this partnership with all of this we don't explain?
One low-hanging fruit academic exchange, where students from Yala will get opportunity for engage with students from Niger Delta. We also get opportunity lecturers from Jala for also visit the same Niger Delta, and richly converse with them peers over there. We get for the opportunity for lecturers and come over and Africa lecture Nigeria. Don't forget say Nigeria now big brother. They don't do a whole lot in the legal field, even in medicine. Salon I first get education before them, but then we don't advance in areas of medicine, even in legal with itself matters. So, as big brother, we dey hope that this relationship will improve areas that will need that kind of help.
How prepared una dey for really receive the opportunities so they can, because more on in statement it be emphasize more on the cultural exchange, and then being the chiefdom we host the cultural richness na Nigeria, we think say this now one thing we don't lost as a country na salon.
They emphasize cultural exchange because of the topic program, the theme of the program program. So now we already designed one day, because you see say in a custodian of culture, and we we make a team we focus on cultural heritage, but at the same time we want academic partnership. So you will see that inside presentation, it underscore the selenium problem, and it even provide solutions to the problems as alone, among which partnership and collaboration for solve the problems. And for we own part, and this partnership we dey look for, and now we don't get. They don't Asaba of Asaba, King of Asaba King, His Royal Highness Obi Professor Epiphany Azinge. He was here with us from the 24th. Make the pledge, and of course, it will link with Asaba of Asaba. So through this engagement, we don't get opportunity now for able to get onto Tinubu, when are the president of Nigeria, for discuss family discussion. In when former an alumnus of Ghana, and we were there as administrators in Ghana, for Lord sit down and talk as a family, for look at areas where we say as a strong alumnus everywhere.
Initiating them programs there can be good, but practicalize them na another challenge we can always get, and we see Jala for stand on that same pillar.
Were we very intentional? The team also recognized alone in problem require support in many cases from on traditional sources away, not to normal. So we recognize that for move we institution forward, we need for explore and do new things we go help you for grow. We not go do more of the same. 1 plus 1 will always give you two. So we choose for do 1 plus 2, 1 plus 3, for long make changes happen. So this one are one of them case who they explore and try for see the outcome. If we say get for help you for change the landscape. Chief we can, the king we can, the kingdom we come on, and the richest kingdom in the whole of Nigeria.
Alright, plenty thank you to you, Abdul Fattah Gundubai Kamara, for the interview day. Also, you be listening to Professor Rashidan Sumana, when I Deputy Vice Chancellor at Nigeria University. It's a one very important visitor when we get rate of cultural exchange and other things. Then to shortly, as we hear from the headline, say tomorrow we the 1st of May we get May Day. We also we call them International Labor Day or Labor Day. Of course, normally this is a moment for recognize the efforts we will command on the make over the years. But we get somebody we do with we na the studio we can talk to. And of course, this particular individual don't they do extreme efforts when it comes to pushing this kind of agenda and are the vice president for Salon Labour Congress with Nasira Thomas Kama. Good morning, Madam Kama. Welcome to Morning Coffee.
Good morning and good morning, listeners.
All right, paint a picture or give you a background. First of all, why May Day come or International Labour Day come?
We don't go through this several years, and na problem in be will command them vex. So they come together for protest for the vexation. And because they get waiting they want, and the day where they do them, they decide to organize them as a day where people then go come out and talk waiting at the problems. And in some cases, talk waiting they not achieve and try to see how they can come together for make them solve the problem. But the unique thing now is that we believe in social dialogue now. We don't dey pass the point where we for begin facts. I think the table we can talk the facts at the table with words. So if you watch now, we dey get social dialogue forum a day before the May Day, where we go put the points them across and talk to government, because when you look at labor, you get a unique situation. Now a tripartite group wherein you get government, that's na in an ILO, where you get government, employers, and employees come together for talk about the issues. We can usually call them say that the 3 foot pot. Without 1 foot, the other two not go able to team up. But you must know, outside the trend day, but we still dey push and try to get the issues resolved.
How Sierra Labour Congress normally when I can embrace this day whenever I can come?
Well, we get different way we can embrace the day, because like today, this year, today we get a social dialogue forum where we dey go talk. Outside government go there, employers then go there, employees then go there. Then we go tell them what we feel to say now the issues the way we get for make them see how best we can resolve them.
All right, normally Wokuman can get boku issues. Some can be salary, other working conditions.
Obviously, you know, say
Yes.
we first problem na money, but not to money no more make the work. Now this we for realize though, wait till you go home with nine your own, but not to money no more make the work. Well, body self make the work. You understand? Because if you not get a very good environment for work, you're stressed, you're still call, you can probably die quick, or you can be amputated, or you know several things again. So not to the take home, not to the couple no more we dey talk about, when they talk about different things then.
So una can come in sometimes una self provide support, especially for seek the welfare of some other commander. Apart from even money, even though money very important, but some working environment then very very toxic and not really healthy for commander.
My brother, that word toxic, I love it. Some, some workplace really toxic. For me, me not support. Me that they call me Mama Saru, that me own utilities the way me they look at. And really, not say a lot of we in a pillar of support because it not come no more and the work. So me, I they go to I they go into family matters because when the man happy, it will be productive. But if you get problem now in house, then when he can office, obviously he go tell on the job. So me know they look only at the job, and they look at the community, and they look at their homes because we need for coming for give them that support.
Okay, so as we hear from you, Sarah, let we hear from some workman them across the country. What in itself make of this day. So let we gonna Kono as we company the other camera being sent this one from people that already work. Let we hear from themselves concerning maybe.
This day has been a very special day and important day to we as the people with the work. It shows say yes indeed it all recognize we say we the work for. And this work here, what we the work for, we need for rest. It don't show love to we the people the more we the work for. So I mean the work mean a teacher. Your environment was hard work, the community hard work. I really feel say the place is fine. Something no more like what we do, one for talk to Papa government, like what we do as teachers then. They work on with salary and make more increment to us with salary as a teacher. Because we know the kind of service what they render to us, the community and the district or the country at large. I don't teach now for 7 good years. I didn't do them really because I know the way I did teach before teach picking them. I know say indeed any side them picking they see me and I see that to my inside a better place or they do a big job. I know say a big pride to me because once teach so picking see me, it will begin say this me auntie or this me teacher, now teach me, now make to the side. So through by that it make me a the bigger they feel say yes indeed. Me na be important person in the society and the community. Me also I may want to talk still to and say they continue to encourage with the teachers there and yes we salary of more and more. Well, the holiday is fine, but another way, fine for the welfare of the workers. Because the more expectation from government. Because if you look at the cost of living right now, easy. Then you get family. Somebody will kind of life say, well, I want you. You want me, but what's the next thing now? The welfare. We need for improvement in salary. The salary scale, we know. Government said they try, but the salary scale is so poor. And if you don't endeavor yourself, say, you work for this ministry or you work for this ministry, you need to understand, government need for kind side, they improve the salary scale. Yeah, they enjoy it because of a sacrifice job may they do. I sacrifice my life for the country because your job, easy. But all the same, with the cry to government, they put emphasis on salary. And we concern security. The message is very clear to government because one, government for no say, Motamana and then at the ground within the suffer really. Because in terms of salary, enough for we. Being that we on concern because we they do the job, but the salary scale is very minimal.
Especially to all workers them we work in different institutions them because Sudan have the World Labor Day and we now the engine now the powerhouse for all the institutions them because in terms of when they talk about work now we they do everything because we now we do work because if you directive then we do work as connected to the directives then in terms of the wage, in terms of waiting, the working condition. Like one of the company with the Global say that they work on a council for a very long time for getting pension, that will not be a very big tussle and not more. A lot of people we don't work for them, we get them benefits them at the end of the day. It's a very big problem for them because we're gonna nasty it and say we refer back to the office society. Just that we get the Minister of Labor to say, well, they not make us say the wage of salary because they pay small, they pay the amount of money to really people buy one bag rice and count on a house. Then you get for pay transportation, you get for get you lodging, you get for make sure say you movement around. But if they pay you like 1,000, how much you go buy one bag rice, then even pay plus as money picking and they go school. So one for the government will make sure say they able look into that, you know the base we don't talk about like into effects. Well, government for able to say we now the backbone, now we the engine for all this the thing the way to go on because if you don't get woman will work for you, I like to get that institution, the big thing, like what they call nothing, but which they really workers them now we government for make sure see they improve we salary rate and of course we allowance and of course we transportation allowance and all of them things they need.
Alright, plenty thank you from Conol. We check again like Cambia as we come in the blank story. Instead try for get the views of what I recommend.
In the first place, everybody when they go as International Worker Day, public holiday, when they celebrate worldwide inside the country so far. And these days they can observe the 1st of May every year. You understand? Yes. They go on recognize the workers' rights and made them achieve the recognition for that one. You understand? And go to trade union, where they also organize mechanics or events so far before the place. Yeah. You understand? Then many other people then sometimes can get the off when they rest and celebrate the days so far. When are these Labor Day so far? So that's more make you understand about Labor Day. I don't say for now, work business not easy. They can try too much that way. They may they encourage and talk to the government. At least men make more work or men make all things for people then for people at people they get work so far for the community. At least men can some machine them so that people then go work. At least men do the community for the community so far. That and one. Secondly, I think men encourage you small them so that they go up. Look as the back they say, this is a work a day for we. And even though when they rest, they continue for work when they Labor Day. Because now they off some days for so all our money. All our work they work still work. So now they look them so that the government will help people then so that the work people find to people that take community so far.
Mina Cherno Umar Kamara, Mina first of all, when we did talk about Labor Day, a day we be say put aside, we say we the work, no we realize, and then we know waiting and waiting it entails. Of course, waiting and Labor Day in the sense want the government, we not Papa government, do things that we be say we the workman then will feel happy. We the workman then will get something we will put at the table so that we you sit down around your family, you begin your woman now we able enjoy to see say the area where they become very enviable in the sense from rather we they around we more especially with the teachers they within our community areas there if they see say we they live a better life as well comrade they will send a beginner then they also been as school. Waiting our government do for we the teachers there. More especially we within the rural communities there. While they will help we follow we will get remote allowance for live na the rural areas there, easy. So once the government it will add the condition of service as we the teachers there. Well this day yeah so we Labor Day a day we are they celebrate in the low key na Mio area which I have felt myself. My name is Mustafa Fofana. To me, Labor Day a very good day and it's so interesting to me, because now a day we I would say when hard work are recognized or put on so, because look at workers in all sectors, like the doctors, the teachers, the civil servants, where they recognize their contribution towards the country's development. Also, na a day we the workers' voice were heard. They get a chance for workers them for demand for a better salary. Yeah, well, recently our condition of service has been improved. So now like now that will be the first for all along. Then which institution? Sierra Leone Agricultural Research Institute. Slurry, okay. Yes. Okay. So for now, looking at the past condition, to now, we are okay. Yes. Though we expect more improvement in the future, because we get similar condition of service with the university. And we see how the university condition of service they improve more. Likewise, as we expect we on for the move. Salary now not too far different because we get we act we and the government be done approve and working act now. So now like it still operates. Just take out the University of Southern hope for government to continue to improve the condition of service, and we self go do more because we are the backbone for any economic development. Especially the Fit Salon flagship. This thing I don't know office. I get a lot of things to do, and I make sure because I get forgot weekend, so I make sure I done everything before because Monday next week a new week, so I expect new challenges.
Plenty thank you to Ibrahim Story for put together the views and day from Cambia district. We come now studio again, Madam Sarah Thomas. You don't hear most of the concerns them with the workman and the raise now that the condition of living, much the salary now that's more na the focus point. So also Sarah Labour Congress we also want to take up some other issues then they foresee say because we see situation even sometimes the minimum wage you get people away can one go beyond. See, because who cannot be this person like who cannot anything and they can. It's not an effort in that direction.
I tell you for free. Now the first year this has done a studio, I hear people and talk good. You understand? So it really applaudable. And for the minimum wage, as you say, we just raise them from 800 to 1,200. We take effect the 1st of April this year. It will not be easy for me to get that because when you look at the economic situation of the country, the employers themselves they say tax they kill them. So for me we get that, there be some real work between we and them. Government been there as mediator when employers and employees they negotiate. But we don't get that 1,200. We at least now a 50% increase in the minimum wage. But I tell you, enforcement of the minimum wage now in at the problem now. Because as you rightly say, people when they go take work say, let's just take a normal, let's get hand to mouth. But not take waiting there below, waiting government say they for pay you. Not take waiting
Very
there,
serious.
they say for pay you. Truly speaking, I want to tell you, my sister, in most cases, people don't talk. And if you don't talk, we not go know. Then they say, let's take this normal force. Salomon, we will be out. Let's take this normal force. Will they bear all this? Well, you don't say people that they suffer sexual violence, harassment and violence that will place, but they know they come up with that. They know they talk up.
For instance, it will cost the job.
It will cost them their job. But I tell you, come out of that one and let you see. If we're not going to map bear you, sometimes the person when they do when are you boss, that ain't gonna lose your job. You not gonna lose your job. But we know they get people then for come out. The truth is enforcement of the minimum wage is an issue. Because enforcing the minimum wage is not the duty of the Ministry of Employment, Labor and Social Security. But I tell you, go to the mail today, you will see with position paper. And we will not call it position paper, we call it issue paper. You will see we issue paper because we need for discuss some of them things here soon. Fancy a labor inspector, they go na a place. Okay, let's just take the factory of my kidney. It don't work out. It is sweat profusely. Or sometimes take bike where dust no cover that. Where can I get for weight paper? We still not say it not go look fine. Then it go. The first way the employer go do, you go put on air conditioner, breeze blower. Then it's offer and soft drink. Where they talk now, what I go talk for? Not for me or not for you?
So instead of
So-
talk the issues and now other things.
Not that thing you go talk. So if the Ministry of Labor equip, whether inspector they go so like that factory they go with a vehicle, He pack, he candle. And when they go there with respect. Make you say, I dress code I will join us so they go buy you. Me, not me employer, not the employers the one they deal with. Not they take me lightly. Because when you see me, you see I get the clout. You not go mistakenly nonsense start to me. Me not to 10 cent person. Mm-mm.
Yeah, because in that situation, if the ministry self get fine AC, with this inspector no say AC don't they blow me if you
Not
go.
all the places they blow me say. Give them the truth. The problem is give them the logistics to work with.
Okay, so if the one them like the Labour Congress whosoever we therefore try for ensure say they self put voice and advocate for letting things work and fine, they self not able to forget waiting they make they self do
Not
their
to the
work.
Labour Congress.
Uh-huh.
The Labour Congress, we are not the enforcers.
But una na advocates.
We are the advocates. At the left we own side, and they talk about the
Una
Ministry of Labour, Employment and Security, Social Security. When I in at the enforcer, because when they go there, they find out so you know they pay minimum wage. The law say they for fine you. Sometimes they go fine you and you go jail, or sometimes you go jail they not fine you. But if you dey go there, you not get all what you for go with, you not equip. So equip the Ministry of Labour when at the third foot span this 3 foot port, and now we move go before.
So we company they say even the 1 foot when I say Labour Congress, you get some people they wait for do their work effectively because of the challenge again.
My brother, let me tell you the truth is that every situation you get people them way now it's in a lawbreaker. Me, I don't get motor. Truly, I don't get motor. But when I want for go out, I get vehicle will go carry me go. If you come to Labour Congress, we have a vehicle there. We go give you for make you go to the people there and go talk to them. But we're all different. We're all different. But I tell you now, the very first time is true. The cost of living not easy because at the read yesterday, inflation don't go 2 digits again. Then just put price on the petrol. So it make transportation don't go up. It's not easy. But in most of the collective bargaining agreement, we they talk about side agreements. In that cases there, so we dey look forward to the employer say they go come up with something where they go say, let me augment some of this cost way then people here they bear for make things work out well. But as I tell you, the complaint when they give you, they say they tax boku.
Okay, so aside from salary where people where the working place concerns say no commercially to the way then they spend expenditure when I challenge all by also in terms of safety risk when they can get na the workplace it dey happen different. So I remember one time somebody who had been sabi go work on side whatever will happen or happen e go put in hand one factory dey na in some area e go slice im finger comot so dem begin do other dey say well in fact e no be suppose for dey na duty that day e no dey na roster na im come pick her work for so the thing no be get any kind aid or thing but their person dey don lost finger.
And that's just one for boku.
Exactly. Plenty people they want to work like them mining sites them if the way they set they can go there all the altars and we include so what you want to
Yeah. Now me na the focal point for occupational safety and health na the Labour Congress. One of the things we make it now utilities me dey work and now utilities I get business with so say hazards bokude. I quite remember I get a meeting with one of the utilities then the management sit down, the workman then sit down. Then talk about something. Now say una wetin I dey tell una empty day. Look at I sit down so. If they not give una no work. If they not give una no work. Because a healthy worker is a productive worker. First thing they say occupational health and safety. But we see say no, now the safety for come before the health. Because if you provide the basic safety equipment, there is a tendency that people are not going to seek boku. But some man not busy. Some man not care. As I tell you, Solomon not they complain. When they say, now waiting God say, people say now waiting God say. And God said, help yourself, I go help you. So if you not help yourself, I'll for help you.
One side that we been touch, we dey talk now on this issue of stress, where local people now they talk about mental health,
Yeah.
especially in the workplace.
Yeah.
A lot of people then they go through that. You don't come on use, you don't know what you don't pull commodity, then again office you can add by you and all of that. So whose help where una can give or advice una can give to people then for address some of them challenges then
You know, for me, I dey look at psychosocial counseling. I want me to talk this. I tell you, say me they go tell they go into the family lives because if the person not happy, you're not gonna be productive. So me start make eventually say this man me na money where they come and face will take no half for attacker. Na for that they make up. They say by how we come inside, they know say she's okay or she's not okay. But truly, when they go through stress na boko office, the stress plenty. But I want for every their office then get 10. Me, I dey look human resource as a central point for address some of their issues then they forget that human face because they not say human resource na management. They not say human resource na workman. Now the midpoint for handle both management and the workman. So when you then at the human resource department, you for understand the situation and put yourself there and try to see how you can address some of the situation they dey. But I can tell you, my sister, some of the human resource managers, now then they stress we pass the workman them. So if they know their point, say we are the midpoint, that is why they call her human resource. Give it that human face, wherein you go put yourself in the position. They not tell you say it just sound like a woman we born twin. You know they on one side, you dey on flat, the two picking and the sock. You understand? There is a tendency where you go along with the side for give someone one extra because nobody not there on earth when they let two persons the same way. You understand what I mean? So in that case, when you they go, let it be reasonable. Why make you they take that decision there? But I tell you, the human resource department is more management than employees. So it creates more stress for the workman. So let me they look at from that perspective. Say they are there. They actually not them for lead on for try to make this problem not happen with the workman then.
One of the years again, we I don't know say really but Congress on they come in now and benefit and pension every workman then they get after them go on give service. But most of the time we see again some challenging some of them with the interview. Say sometimes they face serious challenge for get them pension and you reach some man they even think and say you know get a reason say why it be the work, whether you know enough, whether you know forthcoming, also not the help in the areas and
Yeah, one of the things our listeners that listen well while they talk this. One of the things as an individual where you for try for do, go and asset, ask for your statements, then they give. When they give you the statements, look at them. Because in most cases, when you make them not able to pay them benefits and not pensions and they pay upfront. Once that, but the benefits, one of the reasons we make them not able to pay them benefits, now because gaps can they in between. But if you go take your statement, you go see the gaps then there. Then you go to the relevant authorities where for address the gaps then there. I see 2022, 3 months, you not pay for me. You understand? They una resolve that issue there with NASIT. Probably when they send the money, the mistake for 1 digit. Una cable resolve them. Or sometimes they deliberately they not pay for you. But if una go there, una sit down, una try to address the issues. Especially NASI's Ghana Project 54. Where when you 54 years, you can walk into that office and look at your statement holistically with them. And when I try to resolve the issues before you the 60. So by the time when you they go, within 30 days, they can able process you money and give you. But most of we so lazy and then they pay me in assets. Where sometimes the employer not they pay. Or sometimes if they pay, if they go na the account when I keep them, they keep the number for you until una reconcile. The employer self gets work for play in that case. Because they get for they go there for check say we be make mistake last month or we not be make mistake last month. So please, una way they pay then they pay asset for. Go on an asset wherever you day and ask them and give statement. When they give statement, within that the statement, you go know if they pay for you continuously.
Oh, it's now we don't talk about the condition them we would expect say the workman dem for work under, but some workman dem sef attitude to work na a concern for the employers then.
I can usually say when you talk about the dog, you for talk about the bone. You quite right, my sister. Some workman really get attitude. And make you usually say kill dog na dog island dog no say die day. So when you get them kind recalcitrant employees that day, one of the things you can do, let them deal with them the way we for deal with them. Let them colleagues then see. You understand? When their colleagues then see that can make themselves sit up. But really we get workman the way really a problem. For me, waiting the collective bargaining agreement say now they go with you. Honestly, if you say 21 days, if you not go work then for terminate your service, then you go sit down and you feel to say that your papa gets the work. After 21 days, if they come up with determination, may I endorse.
Yeah, because a lot like we you dey say so many workman and employers they say can raise concerns. So workman the only thing we dey say and then tell and they know say
Salary
they come. Maybe that week they begin say they come, they make formula, see receive. Now go they go back.
That's not true. I know they say that. As I say, kill dog na dog, yale dog no say die day. We really want them for make the day na their job. But for me, every quarter they go around to all the employees them and they warn them. And tell them, say, make them offend you as a one thing. Let not offend you one thing. Try for do the things where you employer tell you say you for do. Not go overboard. You understand? One day I had to talk for somebody, now they ask me the question, say, why you they do things right? Then always you can make for person. It dawned on me, really. Say, me they try for do things right, but I dey plead on the behalf of somebody when not they do the things right. But now me work, me brother, for plead for person when not they do the right thing. But what I go say is that now a time for make we all reflect. As we say today, now a day where they look at with socio-economic gains. If you not they do the right thing, then I can usually tell people that say, when you don't work for the money, how we come now so they go like breeze. Yeah, when you don't work for them, they pay you today, tomorrow, and they don't. But if now 800,000, at least as the minimum wage, you work for them, may I tell you, my brother, from the 1st to the 31st, the 800,000 they do for you.
Yeah, because many people don't they say some man they work, but in spite of the work they work, at the end of the day, not get anything where they point at say now this able for achieve.
Work for the money where you I tell you, my brother, work for them. When you work for them, you they see say it go do for you. Because God they bless you other ways. Employers go see you and try for help you. But if you decide say you know one for war, you want be that recalcitrant person, then only obviously they pay you the 30, the 31, they don't know. And they go the first step.
Alright, continue for still inside the program in the Vice President for the Sierra Leone Labour Congress. We have Madam Sarah Thomas Kamara. We don't take you through inside the program. We still get a member of one of the members of the publicity team. We na Karim Kamara still those we inside the studio. Again another concern we members can raise now that the All People's Congress or any other political party normally they champion more political issues rather than the national issues, meaning the bread and butter issues. How APC really don't they work for say able for help for address some of the issue them they, especially when in the border the ordinary Salomon.
I think say prior to this time, the APC be communicate say will embark on what we call a national protest, and will be promised the people of this country say we will communicate to them the date and the time, and we will seek police for make police be around we for provide the necessary security. That protest not be only be limited or restricted to the fact say we are just going there to agitate or to ask for political answers. No, but rather the whole essence of that protest, who we don't communicate to the wider populace, it will be born from the fact that we equally therefore communicate to other pertinent issues, i.e., the cost of living. The economic sister they talk about dignified wage bills, or basically we can say uniform wage bills across all spectrum, as opposed to others who just say, Nema work no more, things them difficult. We ask for equality of all before the law. We ask for the opportunities of access to justice. We ask for so many things that we all be don't just put together, say, come so time, we, the people of this country, through the APC political party, will provide leadership. We will communicate to government that indeed the cost of living in Australia is really burdensome. So anybody will get that opinion, say the APC always just argue for political answers, i.e., things that are of political interest, and they know they seek the greater or the majority of the other people of Australia. To me, I think that is not really true. That is really disservice to the APC. But let me say certain things that I don't champion for on behalf of the APC. When fuel go up to 35,000 right now, I think when other civil society activists them shy away or comment on them, I was one amongst the very few people who say no, this was not what President Bill promised me. Ben Kefala and others, when they be the Renaissance, we all can testify to this fact to all Australians. If we they talk not true, and I was not talk this because it's not true. Then get what you call the Black Friday or the Black Monday. When they say they wear black, they fear enough for come up from 3,500 to 6,000. It was all about that's about that country tree. President Kuruma dare not be take police or go beat them, fire them. No, he not be do that. So I left them. Today, now if you list to 35,000, who that get mind come on at you? If you attempt that they see police they pass with the armor tank them, where intimidating people say they spray una with warm water. You see the huge presence of police to intimidate you. Prior to this time, when I Lima be say he gets the military for make the able guard and protect the constitution of this country for overthrow. President Nkrumah no do nothing.
Okay, so let me see what people are send us text message AKK.
Oh, it's quick one. Now we take first from Facebook. AKK. This one they say let me go back to history. Say one party we SLPP proposed under Albert Magai. He say na APC it's APC first be kick against them. Say but we APC take power under Sheka Stephen then can work them and then can implement them. He say all waiting he criticize SLPP now so for AKK. He say when I come na power, he say when they do the worst. Come up from Momo Joanna. Again, Momo Joanna they say he say on resource of the honorable. He say honorable AKK. He say please. He say APC gets a lot of things they do and I just quick fix. He say about energy, health and other things. Them say this is not a quick fix thing them. Nothing them we take time. He say yeah, I will try for address some of them. challenge it. And I think another last one I will take from Momo Joanna is say APC don't demand a power pass SLPP. That means the APC don't contribute more to the challenge where the country they face rather than the SLPP.
Okay, that is exactly where I'm going to take us from the latter. I will give you a very real example, and this is very true. You don't see or you not ever see it who say you papa build house. The video another. Please. You papa build house. You can't succeed your papa in that house we build for you. If genuinely you not get that management know-how, you not don't build yourself to that capacity for make it continue seamlessly from your mama or your papa from waiting that the legacy will not left you. You get the proclivity say that legacy can be thwarted or it can fade away within space of seconds. Let me give you an example. There are certain examples that this story say, now in one ratio in mama be born, he left gear old. In mama don't die, he don't left 2 years if he don't sell himself. Look at an treaty they sleep so. You know why? The person not be getting capacity for waiting the left gear. Waiting APC don't do in this country. If anytime APC come out the governors, SLPP get the capacity as APC gets for build onto that legacy where APC they left will lie enough for those how they do. But let me give you this example. Reps ipsa loquitur. They say we lawyers say let the fact speak for itself. The kind foundation we Ernest Bai Koroma, former president, we don't put in place in this country. If this current SLPP and in leadership, we get that capacity for make them continue from where Ernest Koroma left, or lie, we say salon this in this predicament of this today, we're not for long days like it. Simply put. Ernest Koroma don't put everything in place.
But when I left out austerity.
When they say austerity, really, it don't mean say Sierra Leone they do bad. Don't understand. This talk I don't edify the public. But again, I don't know anything they say. Like we say, everything we don't broke down this country. No. When they say austerity, it's like you they try to say, look for a second. I get 10,000 euros in my pocket. And this 10,000 euros now they use for feed myself. But I get the intention and I begin to believe the ability to say every day they make 10,000. But the way now things then they happen now, I'm not certain say tomorrow I will make 10,000. But I already get 10,000. So what do they do? And they cut down the things that they do today. When I be facing all things being equal, every day I spend 10,000, I go use them because I know say tomorrow they make 10,000. So what I go do because I'm not too certain say tomorrow they make 10,000. This 10,000 what I get, I go cut down in my expenditure so that in tomorrow if I don't make 10,000, I go still able to spread them across the board. So austerity simply means like to say fiscal discipline. So because things are not working well, and with the likelihood that I will not be making it tomorrow, what I have, let me prudently use it. That is what austerity means. And so genuinely, we were doing very well. It was just prudent spending.
Okay, so
because we know the world is shocked with so many shockwaves.
Do very well, but the people doing that and they also really get issues in terms of the economy, they get issues in terms of food security, and all of that challenges being them get issue with the government.
I agree with the greatest of sense of humility. I agree. But this was exactly the situation where President Joe Biden had been to Mali in 2018, where he did on tape for say, Sierra Leoneans do not deserve for make them buy rice at 250 leones per bag. That is harsh. That's uncalled for. It's a Ben Kefa and others say, we don't deserve for buy fuel at liter for 6,000 leones. They say, no, the teachers, they're not supposed to be treated the way they treat them so. But when they came, they subject teachers to the worst ever in the history of this country and the world can ever see. You tag teachers, they pin them in a cotton tree, end up chain pan, and name and shame them for basic pittance. Why should they do the worst in their offices?
Okay, that is a different kettle of fish.
When you see, when this
so the reason
no,
is,
please allow me, let me learn.
When you they talk and so, maybe the approach that me use.
Let me learn, Didi. I understand.
Somehow
this is exactly how the apprehension that is all over the board.
Teachers, them back,
this one they do so na SLBC, not one know what they do. Whenever you go now, anytime you go, people are afraid to ask any questions.
No, we are
They don't
asking.
even want us to come
we-
as lay as bare as
No,
we can
we
come.
get for all
Because
the
you don't want
balance
to pay
because
for
we
our
get
jobs
for
then and say,
we
oh,
get for
allow
all the
AKK
balance.
asks too much questions.
Okay, whenever the
we
other
get for
party
all
no
the
dey for respond,
balance. We get
But
Now
is
we
it that
for
waiting
the
at the talk so that
exactly
when
no,
there's
it
something
dey
a
because
new thing,
no, it
and we
dey
not
place.
see our first
No,
time?
AKK, it dey in place. It dey in
We don't
place.
really see her.
Now, wetin me come be the guy for
What
say
will the guy
AKK?
for
Wetin the
say
guy for
is
say when the other party is not around, if he
even when the other party then they una no they will try
The
for
The
all the
level at
balance.
which SLPP don't put this country to total state capture, we're afraid what will happen in the next subsequent years.
So for just left you the talk.
It's not
talk-
I know they talk, wait till they talk.
no,
So Didi,
AKK, if them be
I am
there,
here, whatever I say here, I am totally responsible for whatever I'm saying.
AKK, if
But-
yes,
And
but
anything what I'm saying, I will not correct. No,
You
me,
actually believe say we give you the leverage for making.
but you not give me for make a land.
no what see the
And they
land.
compare and contrast and say this is what they promised us, but when they came, they did something completely contrary.
AKK, we see the process. We need for the guide the conversation. If
But the
SLPP be there-
conversation is very clear.
No, yes, but for like interrupt you at the moment, something.
Listen to the question when the young man posed, and that was the question I was addressing in its entirety. Say, always the APC they talk so. When they come, then they do worst pass waiting SLPP they can do. And thus, you know, go accept say indeed, waiting we don't do so, we not get the capacity. And that is why I built an example. Say you cannot build the capacity, you cannot do the foundation. If your succession not really too appropriate and apt, the person when they succeed you get the likelihood to make it distort or disregard and shatter everything you don't build. And this is exactly the premises that they build.
Okay.
That's
so-
all what the APC don't do because of the incompetence of the SLPP and because of them poor administrative and management prowess. They don't shatter every goodness we don't put on the platform or on the stage.
all right. We will come back to.
And I'll give you examples.
Oh,
Say Emerson say no see me body so na so cold water. But now you know they even say no see me body so na so cold water because even that's not they for giving you that cold water way for drink.
But
Emerson say pa all the road wey you know say we not make road o. Emerson say pa all the road wey they make na so picking grave. Now you know even talk am because they don't make road. Wetin you go talk?
all
So
right.
let us be honest to ourselves. Let us ask the frank questions.
So
and let us expect the frank answers.
Yes, again.
The
before-
reason why I make we go we therefore take another guest, but we want for make it actually be clear. Say at least we give you the platform for make you say, but we also get for guide the conversation.
I am not denying that.
We know
That's
what
your
for-
role.
So because it's just like waiting that text that say there are times when because you are not there, you feel say that you are being
And
disenfranchised.
Didi, let me
Even
guide you
any-
through this.
or
And this
any
is
other
going to be a very
political
personal
party.
advice to you and I.
Um,
Even when you dey prepare your home and your family, please always make sure say the person will succeed you for be competent enough. Or else, always you don't labor for so. Or life you picking, not competent enough for manage what you don't labor for so. Within splits of seconds, it will fade away.
But again,
And this is why APC dey right now. All waiting and Escromadon put in place for this country. When we left her in these hands of these guys, everything don't shatter.
but you agree.
All right,
don't
so
really
let-
sorry,
we
you
go-
don't
Before they
retrogress
go quick, before they,
badly.
indeed, AKK, before they progress to another guest, you go also agree say during President Koreman time, some of them challenges they still be there exist.
They were there, but these guys promised us paradise. They promised us that we are going to change the status quo. They promised us that things are not going to be as they were. But the reality on the ground is now things are even worse than they were.
All right, we go left video for now, and we will take some other messages later inside the program. But let me bring another guest. We go talk to her about blissful eternity.
Oh, it's blissful eternity, specifically blissful eternity na dignified burial symbol we go call am. We now one very young man dedicated. We don't push that particular agenda. When I lawyer, we now back from Baswari. We don't make efforts, huge efforts within the period. And let me for recently, then we make 75% payments for acre of land we then the guy for put together for 6 years they will forgive dignified burial and other things the way would be expect to demand them. But let me the coordinator, the CEO and everything we're doing in our studio. Good morning and Pumba, welcome to the program.
Good morning. Thank you so much to and thank you also so much to Mr. Koma. It's a pleasure to come back for another day. And also good morning to me good listeners, them down here and me family them. I can't follow candle coffee this morning.
So quick one, give me background. Waiting out this initiative and who's organized?
Yes, thank you so much. So quickly, the Blissful Eternity Initiative started in 2024. And in early 2024, we found will remember say we will get one of the most disruptive news where we reach many decent people, not just within Sierra Leone, but even Sierra Leoneans in the global stage. And this news now about how we fellow brothers in Sierra Leone here, they go na graveyards, them cemeteries, them public cemeteries to be specific, and then they go dig up these graves and pick out dead bones. Sometimes these graves are totally decimated, desecrated. I remember in 2024, we attended the funeral of a Christian doctor, medical practitioner, female, and right in front of me, then just bury the body, and thereafter I see them take a big sledge of hammer and how you call this thing, pickaxe, and then break out such an expensive burial vessel, I mean the coffin. And the only reason for doing that is because they do not trust the security of the cemetery at the time. So Blissful Eternity arrives out of this very horrible situation, primarily because much of the problem they affect almost all Sierra Leoneans. Of course, the Blissful Eternity gets an Islamic kind of slant of origin, while now Muslims then start them up. But at the initial point now, before we do a thorough research on the way how we funeral and burial industry look like in Sierra Leone, because these are areas that were so gray that many people not really give attention to them at all. So when we don't get this global problem, and of course that results to the problem of Kush, as we are aware, that one of the ingredients of Kush now being human bones, dead bones. And these bones where then they go shoot out, it can be somebody they listen to it now. Perhaps you said what you don't know, or me said. Perhaps if we don't die 2 to 3 years back, maybe right now we grave the not before be identifiable. And the more critical, especially for Muslims, where strongly Islamic Sharia not permit for letting use certain markings on the gravesite or perhaps build on the gravesite. So because of this, we conduct 6-month social experiment, and that 6-month social experiment reveals the na Freetown almost all we burying ground with cemeteries they don't flock to the brim. Space not for bear at all. And we also come for discover that pull and put plenty, and it happen more for Muslim community, especially when we go to several cemetery, we get video and pictographic evidence of graves them where they don't dig out. You see the casancade, beef and bone, flesh still there in the process of decomposition, which is not something you'd want or like to happen. You, me, the leader, and a lot of people already out there know with traditional Sierra Leone, especially even for the Muslim, that at the moment the person died, they will bury him immediately. But after burial, what happens? It become another thing. So we derive this inspiration as well. For let we investigate as to whether Muslims in Sierra Leone get funeral home. We come to a shocking conclusion that beside funeral home, even some mosques in Freetown will not even get mortuary for even take care of the dead. So in fact, people they call we now by the name say Blissful Eternity, now like the Islamic version of Columbia Davis. But I agree with the name because Columbia Davis now one institution where don't stand out for give respect to the dead, for give dignified funeral and burial. But this particular service, as we know earlier, much more amenable or available more to the Christian population, but we don't get an equivalent in the Islamic community, especially where Islamic dead bodies or a person die in Islam. If you see book them, but how for take care of the body, you go ask, say, where person don't die now, all this book possible for it for even take care of this body. So you will see that. But we've made some progress over that time. I remember the last time we got an interview, it was during Ramadan, and by that time we don't take care of only 10 dead bodies. But now I'll be proud for saying we don't do over 60 dead bodies, male as well as female. And we don't offer, of course, this kind of dignified funeral. But then the challenge still remains. The fact that we cemeteries and still flop this way. And as you see, we just concluded an interview with my colleague. The country right now, the focus is hugely politics. But these politicians too know that if someday they die, they'll have to be buried too. So we are not focusing anyway on politics. We're focusing on when the politicians die, where should they be given their dignified burial? When the journalists die, when the lawyers die, when the ordinary Sierra Leonean die. You go to some countries, I remember last week when we talked with the paramount chief of Koya Chiefdom, and for go pay 75% because we try to do a public initiative, in other words, like a charity organization or project, gather some money from people, followed by about 20 acres of land. And then we will decide how we go on for let this land become. But primarily the focus is how we begin to think around implementing dignified burial on that particular compound. So I want to conclude on what the paramount chief say. And one of the things we can tell people about not you for believe. Paramount chief say 3 days ago at the time of Tina before him, he said he watched TV on CNN. He said he see Bering Ground America. He said when he see this Bering Ground, he said incessantly sit on salon, he feel for that. You know, he imagine say me if I die said now I go and let them put me. If you compare that with the picture where we get at least for eternity, where I was saying archive photos, then you know that no, you can't even go. If you see Salon Bering gone, you know the one that is and I have, you know. So this is what the blissful eternity has been working towards.
And you see some people even they say if I die before that, then choose for one outline.
Yeah.
Tell them go bury me in outline instead of bury me in a free town. But
Yeah.
what you refer to that pull and put.
Yeah.
Even that means even we country people then know the importance
Yes.
of how somebody forgets dignified burial. So una don't pay 75% for this 20-acre land.
Yeah.
Somebody go one ask you a young person we don't the move this initiative with other young people.
Sure.
How wanna come about for able for reach to this level?
All right, so the first step, thank you so much. So for the first comment is that yes, it is true, and even the people listening, especially of the older generation, all the time they didn't have the morning coffee radio. And sometimes I remember last interview when I come out, many old people talk to me say, we enjoy the show that morning coffee. We talk fine that too because they know perhaps if we go out they go, then they're closer to death. So they more like want it. But again, what do they try for doing for reduce the cost on people? We as Blissful Eternity, as I said, don't deal with over 60 dead bodies. We don't bury over 8 upline. Yes, it's true because people want decency. You cannot live this decent life in Sierra Leone. Okay, let's say now we suffer and salon, okay? But why we sufferness will be justified after death? Our advocacy is to state that every Sierra Leonean will die deserve dignified burial. And what we mean by dignified burial is that they get a safe location where they are buried and nobody no get access for dig, make, pull and put. And I give reason why this is possible. Look at for the burying ground now at Kennedy Street. You see that there was a law in Sierra Leone where permit in the first place for we get this Mohammedan cemetery. This Mohammedan cemetery, where we go the 2 year, it was in 2024 in August. We meet a cemetery there, a grave site of a young man of the age of 24, 26 years of age, died in 1924. We were there in 2024. How many years that young man not taken at the grave? 1 century. You can't find that in most of the other public cemeteries that we know. So lastly, let me come now to this core point. We try to raise this fund, especially from the Muslim community, because like I tell you, the Muslim community, after that with 6 months research, they come to the shocking realization, say, oh yes, we don't even get we own Islamic funeral home where we set supposed for refer we dead ones them to for let them take care of them under proper Islamic guidance and rituals. So this prompts now for let we launch this stuff, and many people give their suggestion. So we decide to get 20 acres of land. We meet a family in a village called Makundomo village, and now imagine they ask we for buying about $20,000. So we come back to people and say, okay, what you do, donate just $100 or at least 2,250,000. If we get 200 special Muslims to give that donation, we're able to buy and acquire this property and wheel them off, of course, to Sierra Leone, because it's not just, yes, it's a Muslim-led project, but when death come in, we're not like mainly saying it's exclusively Muslim, it's generally about humanity. So at the end of the day, we're able to raise just about 78 people, we're able to raise up to 150 town lots money, because 20 acres is about 200 town lots. So if you divide 200 town lots by the money where we get, you require one person to get about $100. So yes, we don't able to raise about 75%, and we don't pay that out to the family through the paramount chief for respect as well the traditional rules. But at the same time, we get another balance of 25 town lot more money for it, 25% more, which is about 50 town lots. So we come also for remind people about the progress we don't make so far, and for ask for people in kind donations, and let them reach out to the finance team and let them able to make a donation, particularly one that is directed to an everlasting dignified burial.
Exactly outside the location of this proposed burial site.
All right, so the exact location is Brahma Junction. So Brahma Junction, they just after 6 miles, but we were they work out small. But they reach the second toll gate. All right. So when you reach Brahma Junction village, on your left, where you enter about 3 miles in, on the main way. I think they said I go they go septe don't prepare. So there is a village there where they call Mapundomo village. They within the Kabbala section that Koya chiefdom. So this Mapundomo village on the main village side, you see a vast amount of land on the left side. So that is where we identified. We asked we surveyors them and we geotech engineers will go there and assess the soil whether it's good for burial. And of course, they have done that assessment. It is so well. So yes, again, many people make comment over distance, and we don't actually get debate about how to cover that. But one of the things we can convince them with the villa is if somebody they die America, they pull and they fly out a phone camera. Why possible for die that they never count up for my line? But beside that, they can advocate for get ambulances so that we can transfer or transport their bodies.
Okay.
See how people take charge.
Yeah, I think because of time,
Yes,
we will
indeed.
left found it for
Yeah,
now.
now,
Yes, yes.
Understandable.
Okay, so let me
Takes
go
what?
to Abdul Kabir for Lady updates us. But good morning, Abdul.
Yeah, good morning. Plenty thank you for getting me. Well, rising tennis star Almami Kabo, way they with the Hill Station Tennis Club, they win the under 14 Charles Obad Senior Championship Nabo, and this is an exciting development for the game. Speaking of tennis as well, one name way rings a bell, Jane Mahoy. Plenty people know her for BB Waitsman. It's not possible to play football, Oman football. The days the way you get soccer angels, the Eastern Lioness, the Prisons, and all. People that way grace woman football too the highest height. Now we don't decide for support the tennis players the more they come to the ranks. He also did with the Hill Station Tennis Club. Jane Mahore, then they call Baby Waits Man. They don't devote in time now to say yes, they want to give back to the young players. Then they don't go to the All African Games, they don't make mark. They don't win the female champion. I say plenty time and tennis, in combined tennis and football. Now we say that for give back. Also the New Age Boxing Academy where then Makeni, the CEO, don't give donation to the Bow City Boxing Club as one way for develop boxing and that party in the country. Abdul Bangura, who represents the Commonwealth Games and Olympic Games, say feel very much okay for this kind of support. And he tells thank you to the Vice President of the NOC, winner Idris Massacre. NSA boss also don't give the prize money to the teams that will be win the Canoe Federation, the national championship will be take place April 27. He praised the federation for the kind of code and they do for create platform outside people in within a coastal community who engage in sports. Also, the SLFA referee arrangement SF don't get FIFA appointment. Outside then second for the part of the Wafu U20 Oman competition that will take place in Guinea. So I get 3 Oman referee them from Salome Gamina Tafula, when a FIFA accredited referee, you get Agnes Blah, and also the referees manager in Alhaji Sanusi Rashid. Babadi Kamara, the president of SLFA, the Canada, the engaging side, the 76th FIFA Congress, outside the door endorsed Gianni Infantino for continuing mandate. SLFA saying also don't conclude or don't complete the licensing diploma course where been take place some time back. And then finally don't end yesterday in the SLFA Academy. One part of the people that will benefit from this that the former Leon Stars player winner Mustafa Aji Bangura who been scored against the Pharaohs of Egypt. Now benefit from this training and also get Sarah Bangura, Fatmata Bintaba, and Mata Conte with the coach, the FC Cologne female team. Interestingly, the head coach of FC Cologne, they with 2 players then with all benefits from this licensing diploma course. Now the Champions League ATL or ATM if you like, Atletico Madrid and Arsenal played to 1-1 at Champions League. The first leg was just Alvarez being equalized for them after Eucharist don't score the 43 minutes goal where he cancelled the Arsenal lead. So this one again as sports.
All right, thank you so much, Abdul Kabir. Well, now we return the microphone to Madam Sarah. Sarah, we come from the Labour Congress for making it with you left with family about this important Labour Day. Finally, let's go talk to Salo Commanding.
Me company will command them. I want una for make una come out na do tomorrow because the first one I want for talk about today we dey go talk wetin na we issue the way we get as we command them at this country. Dem boko but we know say dem go address some and then go put some na the waiting list. But we dey look forward for make they address about 75% of them. because the ministers of government, His Excellency the Vice President, they all go there today na the social dialogue forum for make we talk wetin dey mourn we as Sierra Leoneans. Tomorrow we get March Past and we get the actual May Day celebrations. You wey dey Eastern, you can join me na PZ for make we match come na your UE building. You the way dey Western from Aberdeen Road for match come na UE building. Where yanda, the first gentleman of the state is Excellency retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio, go dey there for grace the ceremony. And they back, we go talk back for make himself go tell we wetin he get for we as we commanded in this country. It's not easy, but we dey make strides. But one broom not a sweep clean until we come together. Because if you take the one grain broom strand for sweep, you're not going to pull one dirty set. But if we come together, we'll make the bunch of broom, then we go able for sweep clean. We want for make una understand, say, we now will command the issue now they talk about. We not they talk nothing, but now we command business we talk about.
Oh.
So if you get your problem, come with an Labour Congress. We go tell you whose union go address you issue for you.
All right, thank you so much, Sarah Thomas Kamara, and the Vice President for the Sierra Leone Labour Congress. We take Bra Polly. All right, well, I think say the Polly don't fly over the window, so we will catch them. Okay, so I will let so the program go left you for today. We want to say thank you so much to we guests that we come. We also want to say thank you to the team this morning, Abubakar Dumbuya, we give you Facebook Live, and Salifu Tamara. And we also wish the RCC speedy recovery, and to all the correspondents across the country. Well, before I remember sense word, we come out from Frederick Anderson, where is Nakuto Road, and he say, you know, go blow your nose, and same way so they whistle. Want to wish you a lovely day, and we'll say bye bye for now.
And happy day for the commandant tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. Me company.
Me na Mohammed Simbi Koma.
Bye bye.